shall I say good morning, but this is now just gone past midnight. This is a live reaction to the transfer window for my Crystal Palace and also for other Premier League clubs out there. And it's just my thought of it. It's my reaction to the transfer window, and of course, a little bit reaction to the last watch along, which was, of course, Chelsea versus West Ham United at the Bridge. If you're new to the channel, please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C Palace, and help me with the like and subscribe if you are new. And it's just a live reaction to all the news that's coming. It's going to be a long one, and I'm just going to check on, make sure that the live chat is okay. Let me just have a look. Let me just. That's the only way I can check is to do it this way. Just bear with me. Let's have a look. Let's see if you guys can see me and hear me all alright. Let's see what we get. I hope you can all hear me and see me all okay. This is a live reaction to the transfer window, and I want to let me just check in if the sound is okay. Just bear with me. Let's have a look and see what's happening. And let me just check the sound. It's taking its time to get there. I hope it's all right. Yeah, the sound seems to be all right. All right, here we go. Here we go. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so I can close that one off now. Yes, as I say, welcome, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in. This is a live reaction to the transfer window that has just closed in the last few minutes, and I'm just going to check to see that you can all hear and see me all okay. And I'm not sure what's going on now. What's happened to the some madness going on here? Let me just switch that one off and then let that rest for a little bit. And I'm really happy with the transfer window. Of course, I'm happy for the result last night that happened in Old Trafford. My Crystal Palace team went to Old Trafford and we got 3 points. I'm really happy with that. And let me just check that this is all working okay here. And yes, it is live. It seems to be okay. Right, there we go. That's that one there. I might need to actually just charge this one up a little bit because that's not really working well there. Ooh, don't know where to put this. Um, okay, that's looking good. So hopefully you can all hear me and see me all okay there. I'm just making sure that the sound and the visuals is all okay. Reaction to the transfer window to the previous watch along as well. Of course, it was none other than Chelsea versus West Ham United at the Bridge, and it ended Chelsea 2, West Ham United 1. So it's let me just check that that's working all right. That's working better now. Let me just check that you can all hear me and see me all okay. And then I'll go into the transfers and whatnot. Yeah, that's working okay. It's a little bit slow. Let's have a look. There we go. Right, I can confirm that, of course, the transfer window is shut. There is a clear everybody has opinions when the transfer window closes. Has your team done enough? And as a Crystal Palace fan, I want them to spend loads and loads of money and bring in as many players so we can go up and up the table and win things. But doesn't really work like that, I suppose. I think that's working okay. So, right, I'm going to read out a few announcements. That is, my sources are going to be official sources. And why does it keep doing that? It doesn't make any sense. I hope that you guys can all hear me and see me all okay. And just going to put that like that. Let's see if that works okay there. And let's have a look. So my sources have been throughout the transfer window on my channel, good reliable ones. I've gone with Sky Sports, Fabrizio Romano. I've also used some other outlets, The Athletic, and also for up north I've used Manchester Evening News in the clubs up there in Manchester, for Manchester City, for Manchester United. They seem to be very reliable, that I can see. I've also used the some of the South London Press, some of the individuals there, and of course I've used the official Crystal Palace webpage. Um, I tend to always wait and see what the always wait until the club officially announces things, so then I know it's if it's been made into the public domain officially by the football club at Crystal Palace, then I know I can sort of talk about it with assurance that a deal has happened or a deal hasn't happened. So from that perspective, um, first of all, I want to mention that earlier on I did a watch along for Chelsea versus West Ham United. It ended Chelsea 2, West Ham United 1. And I want to apologise for the signal kind of dropped towards the end of that watch along, and beyond my control. It wasn't actually my Wi-Fi, because I could see it working on the devices that I had. All the other devices were working with the Wi-Fi, but for some reason the live feed at the end just kind of collapsed. So I don't know what happened there. Never had experienced touch with any problems with the Wi-Fi. So I don't think it was my Wi-Fi. I think it was something else elsewhere. Now, on the official webpage at Crystal Palace, they've made a few. Just going to go back into it to make sure if they've done any further ones. There's been a few official announcements, and this is coming from the official webpage at cpfc.co.uk. Just want to be clear, I have nothing to do with the football club, just a football fan, and of Crystal Palace, of course. And of course, I'm happy with the transfer window, just before I go into it. And I'm happy, of course, we went to Old Trafford yesterday and we collected 3 points. A massive thank you to the Crystal Palace staff that took myself and all the away fans to Old Trafford, and they brought us back all in one piece. It was a wonderful experience, and the Crystal Palace staff that looked after the coaches, they know who they are. They're all absolutely amazing, and I just want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. And also, quickly, before I went into Old Trafford yesterday, some Manchester United fans approached me. I think they recognised the channel. I'm not going to mention any names, but I just want to say thank you to those Manchester United fans for coming over and just having a little chat, and wishing me and my channel and them, and I wish them well as well. So much respect to those Manchester United fans that just said hello before the match at Old Trafford, and much respect, and they were very polite and very humorous. We had a bit of a banter, and so I was pleased. I didn't expect that. So if they are watching on playback or watching live, you know who you are. Thank you very much for doing that. Right, on the official webpage at cpfc.co.uk, the there's been an official announcement by Crystal Palace, and it goes as follows. Crystal Palace are delighted to confirm the signing of Ben Chilwell on loan from Chelsea. So, come on, Palace, we've got another defender on loan, and of course, I'm absolutely buzzing about this. Chilwell, Ben Chilwell is a Chelsea player, so he's got experience there, and hopefully it will help give Oliver Glasner and his staff options on what they do in training, and of course, no doubt, on match day. Um, so I hope that he's fully match fit. He's had his medical today. I'm going to go on the article here. It goes on to say the following. The 20-year-old who can operate in a number of positions on the left-hand side of the pitch joins the Eagles until the end of the season. Chilwell's first taste of senior football came with Leicester City, having joined their academy at age 12. He made his full debut in October 2015 before joining Huddersfield Town a month later. Oh, 1 minute, I'm just taking the phone out of its case. And where are we? Oh, I've just lost the web page. Okay, start again, that one. So this is coming from the official webpage at cpfc.co.uk. Chilwell's first taste of senior football came with Leicester City, having joined their academy aged 12. He made his full debut in October 2015 before joining Huddersfield Town a month later for a short-term loan in the Championship. The attacking fullback came a first-team regular at the Foxes the following season and will go on to make 123 appearances for Leicester across a 5-year spell prior joining Chelsea in August 2020. That's Ben Chilwell. And the article goes on to say, during his time at Stamford Bridge, the defender has won both the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Super Cup. So he's a trophy-winning, experienced footballer, and he's got those winning accolades at Chelsea. So that should all help, I expect, to bring experience to the squad in depth at Crystal Palace, no doubt. Hence why probably they've gone for him. Chilwell also... Oh, I've read this bit. No, I haven't yourself. Chilwell also made his senior international debut for England in 2018 at the King Power Stadium during a 1-0 win over Switzerland. He has won 21 caps for the Three Lions to date, scoring his first goal for the team against Andorra in October 2021, and was part of the England squad which reached the Euros 2020 final at Wembley. He becomes Palace's second signing in January transfer window, following the arrival of Romain Esse. So this is from the official webpage at cpfc.co.uk, and the official webpage of Crystal Palace. And there's a quote here from Chilwell himself. He says, "I'm very excited to be here. Crystal Palace are a club that's going in a great direction." Yes, definitely. I agree with you. You look at the last few months with the results and how the team's playing, and it is a no-brainer to make the decision to come here. That's a quote from Chilwell. There's a quote here also from the chairman of Crystal Palace, Mr. Steve Parish, and he goes on to say, Ben has experience at the highest level of European and international football. I'm delighted that he has joined us on loan, and we believe he will prove to be a great addition to the squad. So that is a quote from the Crystal Palace chairman, Steve Parish, on the official webpage. I'm absolutely buzzing with this loan deal that they've acquired. Ben Chilwell has won the Champions League, other honours with Chelsea. He's also played for England. He scored for England, so we're getting an experienced player there, and I think that's very, very important indeed to help the options for Oliver Glasner and his coaching staff there as well. Also, I'm just trying to see. Another announcement also today at Crystal Palace. It's also just come out there. I'm just going to get a drink because I'm a little bit thirsty. It's been a long day today. Please subscribe at Diego C Palace if you are new. And this is another official announcement on the official webpage at Crystal Palace. And it goes on to say Jeffrey Schlupp has signed for Celtic on loan until the end of the season, subject to international clearance. Since joining Palace from Leicester City in January 2017, Schlupp has made 247 appearances for the club, 220 of which have come in the Premier League and 40 in the Premier League, the fourth highest total in Ingles history. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's up there with appearance for us. Absolutely amazing. Big up to Jeffrey Schlupp. He actually signed my shirt um, last season. Got it somewhere tucked away, and I was really proud for him signing my shirt. So absolutely buzzing with that. So good luck to Jeffrey Schlupp. There, he's gone on loan to Celtic. Brendan Rodgers is the manager at Celtic. Of course, they want to, I presume, secure the Scottish Premiership and do as well as they can in the Champions League. There you go. He's gone to a team that's playing in the Champions League. If I'm not mistaken, I think he is in. No. Is he in the Champions League or is the Europa? Oh, I can't remember, but it's one of the European competitions. So good luck to him. The article goes on to say, across 9 separate seasons with Palace, the versatile Guyana international has registered 15 assists and 19 goals, most recently netting the goal of the season contender against Fulham at Craven Cottage in the 23-24 season. Schlupp now links up with their Scottish Premiership champions Celtic, who under manager Brendan Rodgers currently hold a 10-point lead at the top of this season's table. The club would like to wish Jeffrey the very best of luck with his loan spell at Glasgow. Listen, good luck to Jeffrey Schlupp. I've been in the corner. That's why I asked him to sign my shirt. And I'm worried because when we get experienced players that leave like him, and we're losing options for Oliver Glasner. But I suppose Oliver Glasner and the people at Crystal Palace, they know what they're doing. So basically, as a Crystal Palace fan, I don't want them to get rid of any players at all, and I want them to sign more and more and more. But it doesn't work like that in the real world, and they have to let go people, even online, or let go people and then bring people in. It's just, I guess, it's the game is the game, I suppose. So that's what happens. So it's a little bit sad to see him go, but I'm also very happy that he signed my shirt last season. Whenever I saw him with the Crystal Palace fans, he always showed love and affection to the Crystal Palace fan. And I think he's been an amazing role model for the football club. Certainly, as a football fan, when I've seen him live, greeting the Crystal Palace fans or playing on the pitch, he's always been an absolute professional out there. So, a much respect to Jeffrey Schlupp, who is joining Celtic on loan. So that is official from the official webpage at Crystal Palace. Also, I'm just trying to look at any other breaking news they may have updated in the last few seconds at the Crystal Palace. Also, Crystal Palace has confirmed, this is from the official webpage at cpfc.co.uk. Just want to reiterate, I have nothing to do with the football club. I'm just a football fan like you. But I'm reading off from the official announcement today from the official webpage on Rob Holding. Before I go into it, I just want to be clear. I don't know what the ins and outs of all the situation with Rob Holding and Crystal Palace because I don't work at the club. Everybody has an opinion, but it hasn't worked out for him. And it's sad to see that happening, but it looks like he's got now a loan move. I'll go into the article, but for me as a Crystal Palace fan, I want anyone that comes in as a loan or as a purchase for things to work out for them when they come in and when they leave the club as well. That's how I always view it. If you view it in another way, your hairline recedes and you get grey hairs, like literally. So it's Rob Holding joins Sheffield United on loan. This is an official. It's about 3 hours old at the moment that I'm speaking. Please help me get to 5 likes in the chat if you can. That'll be wonderful. If you're watching on playback, please subscribe at Diego C Palace and hit a like as well if you're watching on playback. If you have any comments, by all means leave them after the live stream or at the bottom. I think you're supposed to say, please leave your comments at the bottom and I'll try and get back to you um, when I can. And it's one of those. So I'm disappointed that it hasn't worked out for Rob Holding, because I think when we get experienced players from clubs like Arsenal, from Chelsea, from Manchester, or from any football club in the Premier League, I'm sure they don't take that decision to come to my Crystal Palace with 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 a good intention to try and work things out for their careers, and it just hasn't worked out for Rob Holding. Right, I'm going to go on to finish off the article for Rob Holding, and it goes on to say the 29-year-old joined Palace in September 2023 from fellow Premier League side Arsenal. Holding now heads to Bramall Lane, which is of course Sheffield Wednesday, until the end of the end of the 24-25 campaign, linking up with fellow Palace loanee Jesserim Rakisaki. He's amazing as well. The Blades currently sit in second in the EFL Championship, 2 points off the top of the table. And it goes on to say the club wishes Rob luck with his loan spell. So that's an official announcement by Crystal Palace on their official webpage. Oh, I've got a few comments. Thank you very much. Oh my God, wicked. Oh, that's amazing. Yes, good up to you, Maurice. How you doing? This is anyone who's not aware. Big up to the Cheap Heat Production podcast. He's absolutely amazing. This gentleman's name is Maurice, and he has a channel called the Cheap Heat Production Podcast. And the only crazy thing about him is that he's an Arsenal fan, but he's an absolute legend. And if you're into um, anything to do with Arsenal, with content of a podcast of wrestling, he's absolutely tier one. Absolutely tier one. A good evening. I hope you're well. And Holding is a good player. Won us an FA Cup. Yes, buying Diego Costa. Yeah, listen, this is the thing I don't understand with the Arsenal situation. And I'm a safe. Bless you, Murray. Well, I don't know. Listen. That second goal by Gabriel Jesus was clearly offside in the League Cup. There was no VAR, and as per usual, the Arsenal fans always get the VAR decisions dating back to the late 80s. I have so many receipts to hand out to Arsenal fans. Literally, I've run out of paper. I don't think the Arsenal fans would agree with me on that, of course, but there you go. But Cheap Heat Productions. By the way, if you're watching this on playback or if you're watching live, please go and subscribe at the Cheap Heat Productions podcast. It's absolutely, I am not saying this lightly, it's tier one, and please go and check them out. Arsenal fans crying over the rest of 24-27. I think, quite frankly, they've been using that as a narrative for the last 3 or 4 years. What I don't understand with Arsenal fans and is that they've brought in Mikel Arteta, and he had no experience into management. If you look at Cesc Fabregas, he's the manager at the Italian side Como. He's learning his trade at a proper level, but the Arsenal fans seems to have accepted. Not not all the Arsenal fans, of course, but for some reason they took in Mikel Arteta with no experience. They've given him 4 or 5 years and net spend between 750 net spend 750 going up now towards 900 mil net spend sterling, and he hasn't won any trophies with his players. That would not be acceptable in any football club in Serie A, in La Liga, in Spain, where Arteta is from. So I don't quite understand that. As an outsider looking in, I think he's probably a good coach, good manager, but I think he's gone in too high at experience with no experience. The way I see it, I think he's still doing his apprenticeship and his management. And oh, wait a minute, my battery's about to die, so I need to just plug this in because the poor thing is about to die off. Yeah, what it is, if anybody's out there, I'm using an old phone, so I hope I don't lose the live feed. And the computer is in the it's getting sorted, and I'll bring it back as soon as possible. Oh, I hope I'm not losing everyone there. Is it still live? It is still live. Right, and yeah, so that's why. So I think Mikel Arteta might be a good coach, a good manager, but I don't understand why he's been given such a long time, a lot of money, a lot of millions of pounds, and he hasn't landed. When he came out, when he took over Arsenal, he dismantled Aubameyang. He took out Lacazette. Um, who else did he take off? Pepe. He threw him underneath the bus very early on, if I remember. Also, let me just turn this off a bit. Also, what else did he do? Yeah, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe. Tierney was playing really well for them at the time. They won an FA Cup with Mikel Arteta, but those were Ruben Amorim's players. So he dismantled that winning squad, and then he started something new, and he hasn't won any trophies since. But the reasoning for that, you'll have to ask Arsenal fans. So he got a Cheap Heat production postcard says if they had a striker, they wouldn't need to cry over the refs offered less than 2 weeks away. I'll enjoy it. I've been to the Foxes um, and to Leicester City there. Watch out for the speed cameras. So if you're in somebody else's motor, watch out for the speed cameras there in those necks of the woods. There's a lot of Palace doing great, man. Yeah, I'm happy with our away form. I love the win in Old Trafford. Yeah, I was there yesterday, and I had predicted a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace before the match, and that's duly what they returned for the away fans. Met some great Manchester United fans prior to the match, and it was really nice of them to come and approach me. They clearly knew about me and my channel. It was nice to see that. I was unexpected that. I mean, I get that at Palace, but to get that at Old Trafford, it was really nice for the Manchester United fans to come over and say hello. That was nice. And yeah, our away form is very well. As I mentioned, in the Premier League, we are the best Premier League side in form away. But it's our home form. Our home form, we've beaten Tottenham Hotspur and Southampton. It was actually easier to beat Tottenham than it was to beat Southampton at Selhurst Park. Um, I suppose Arsenal fans don't like Spurs fans. They'll probably agree with me there. And then he goes on to say he sold Emily Martinez. There's another one, and signed 100 keepers. Yeah, he got rid of him. I mean, also he got rid of Bukayo. No, Emmy Smith Rowe, and we've got Nketiah. Nketiah's doing a shift for us. He's doing it for us. People are putting me on my case, but I think Nketiah will bag a few more goals come the end of the season. The thing is, JP up there is doing absolute. So Jean-Philippe Mateta is doing absolute bits for us, and yeah, so it's yeah, he hasn't built anything really, but that was his sort of what do they call it at Arsenal? The process or project? No, process, and he goes, the Nketiah is terrible. Sorry, no, I disagree with you. I've seen him live at my Selhurst Park. But he's a striker and he needs to score goals. I get that. I get that. I'm going to give you this example, Arsenal fans. When Liverpool came to Selhurst Park, he was man marking Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. These players are like literally Eddie Nketiah's forehead was in line with the belly button of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. It was like a boy standing next to a man. It was literally like that. And Eddie Nketiah did not give up. He tried to give him as good as he got. So I am fighting Eddie Nketiah's case, but some Arsenal fans are definitely adamant that he wasn't up to mark. But he was spoken so highly well of them. No, he's terrible, mate. My boy. Listen, this is what you've got to respect with Arsenal fans out there, because not all of them, but very few of them out there, like the content creators that you have on Cheap Heat Productions podcast, um, they there is some real ones out there. They call it out. Like there is some Arsenal fans out there that do content creation, and they've been shouting for a striker like an Erling Haaland, like a like a um, like a Diego Costa, I suppose, that Chelsea had back in the day, like that kind of thing. And they haven't been asking for it this transfer window. The real Arsenal fans out there, they've been asking for a striker 2 seasons ago. And as I say, I just don't understand it why they haven't done it. Not this season, at the beginning of this season, the transfer window just gone by, this one and the one before, but literally, also about 2 or 3 seasons ago. This thing is like literally, really, this phone is like about to give up. Just 1 second, I've got an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the brightness because maybe the poor thing is just working too hard. And what it is, I'm not using a computer this evening, so that's why the poor thing is kind of is struggling to do the live feed, and the connection might be not be going. And let me just have a look there. But yeah, anyway, I hope for that Eddie Nketiah can bag up towards double figures in goals between now and the end of the season. And if he does that, that will prove a lot of Arsenal fans and a lot of people wrong. But at the moment, it's Jean-Philippe Mateta is just unstoppable at the moment. I'm worried that a club like Arsenal or Chelsea, there is rumours that PSG are trying to come in for him, and I'm a little bit worried with that, I have to say. But the transfer window, it's over. Timeout is finished, so we are keeping Jean-Philippe Mateta, but he's doing really well for us. Definitely, anybody out there, please go and check out the Cheap Heat Productions podcast. If you want to know real content with wrestling from back in the day, from the 80s, uh, definitely this amazing podcast there. And he's absolutely brilliant. Oh, thank you. Stream is fine. Will Palace finish? Where will Palace finish? Do you know what? Um, there's quite a few questions there in that one. And I'm going to start with the first one with Palace. For me, my expectations with Crystal Palace, given the transfer window that we had, um, I wanted to have Ben Dokes. He's a Liverpool player, but he's out loaned to Liverpool, to Middlesbrough from Liverpool, but that didn't get over the line. Um, I'm absolutely buzzing with Roman Eze. Of course, he's come over from Millwall. Absolutely buzzing with that. Now you're asking about my expectations quickly on Palace's. Where will we finish? I'm hopeful, definitely, that we finish above Brighton, naturally, meaning I expect my Palace to finish in the top 10. And if results come our way, we may just nick. We probably won't, but we may just nick a European slot. That will be my ideal. But I think that's really asking for it, because the problem that we've had, Maurice, is that we haven't had really good form. We've only beaten Spurs and Southampton at home. It was easy to beat Spurs. I mean, probably all Arsenal fans would agree with me on that. Beating Tottenham Hotspur is just a walk in the park, like literally. But it is. And they have the audacity to try and make a bid for some of our players. And yeah, and Forest is doing well. So there you go. So it's for me. I'm hopeful that my Crystal Palace will definitely finish in the top 10, and if push towards a top, if we can, into the European places. But we'll have to have decisions. Other teams dropping like stones. So we never know. We never know. But definitely finish above Brighton, finish in the top 10. That is my aspirations as Crystal. I wish my Crystal Palace would be able to play Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur every weekend, because I'm not bantering. It's just we're able to play against those type of football clubs and get the points in. So Oliver Glasner, if he can find a way to uh, continue with the away form with his players, with his coaching staff on the away fixtures, just do the same what you're doing on away fixtures. Do have the same sugar puffs, the same cocoa pops to the players. Give it to them just like that when they come to play at Selhurst Park, so we can come and pick up more points at Selhurst Park. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Real talk. And um, I don't know how to put the. I can't. I'm using a really old phone here, so I can't pin the comments. Frankly, even if I could, I wouldn't know how to do it. So yeah, I don't have to do all that stuff. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to sort that. But at the moment, just getting experience to do live stuff, and I have learned from individuals like this gentleman called Maurice from the Cheap Heat Production Podcast, Tier One Wrestling Channel. Go and check it out if you know your wrestling. Not just in the USA, but also here in the UK. Um, Go and check it out. It's absolutely brilliant. And the only real downside, if there is a downside, is that there's an Arsenal fan. I mean, Arsenal fans. I mean, come on. What has happened to you in this transfer window? It's been absolutely shocking. I thought you guys would have signed, or at least make an attempt for Alexandra Isak. Um, I don't understand it because I think Arsenal must have the money, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it's. I thought they would have had a more proactive transfer window, given that they've got injuries to Bukayo Saka as an example, and other players as well with injuries. So, but um, yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to seeing Roman Eze at my Crystal Palace. Ben Chigwell, he's an experienced player there. Arsenal looking under the sofa for coins. Yeah, but that shouldn't be the case because before, I think the narrative at your football club was when you left your Highbury, and that was a stadium with a character. I was actually on the coach from Old Trafford. I was talking to someone there, and he mentioned Upton Park and Highbury back in the days were football clubs that had a certain culture and fabric, and it had a feel of football back in the days because they were based in Upton Park, of course, West Ham United, and Arsenal at Highbury. And okay, they've got a beautiful stadium now at the Emirates, but I think the narrative before was to pay off the stadium. I think that's paid off. I don't know about that. Great, it's a great signing. I hope he's match fit. And he's mostly for the left hand side, giving cover for Tyrick Mitchell, of course, and he can play apparently in other positions, but he brings. Uh, sorry, bro. Look, do you know what? We've brought him in for about 30 mil off and thereabouts of Arsenal. That's Eddie Nketiah, and I can just see Crystal Palace getting Eddie Nketiah to bag between 5 to 10 bags of goals this season, and then perhaps selling him back to Arsenal for 60 mil. And Arsenal will take it. They'll pay us the money. Talking about they haven't got coins. It's like, yeah, I can just see it. I think that's probably what this is, because at Crystal Palace we have the best sporting director, pound for pound, um, in Dougie Freeman. Who let the dogs out? Who? And that's the kind of deals. He brings in players in at a value, and they enhance their value, and we can move them on. Um, Plymouth. Listen, Plymouth Argyle just sold their player, their best striker that used to play with Wayne Rooney, not on the pitch because when he was the manager there. And where did the lad go? I think he went to Middlesbrough. But anyway, but oh my days. No, but in all honesty, I'm a bit curious as to why Arsenal didn't go bold in the transfer window for a striker because of their injury to their players. I mean, even West Ham United. they made a bold offer for John Duran, the Colombian international from Aston Villa. I never heard of Arsenal going in for that officially, or maybe I missed it. Um, and I thought that Arsenal maybe have the capability of going in for an up and really making a statement of getting somebody like Alexander Isak. Of course, some may argue why would he leave Eddie Howe and a Newcastle side that's doing really well up there as well in the top four. Probably they wouldn't let him go to Arsenal, but then money talks. But I don't understand why Arsenal fans didn't push their club. I'm sure they were, but why didn't something like that bold from their end? From my side as Crystal Palace fan, I think that I just want my club to keep buying players, and don't let go of anyone. And but life doesn't work like that, I suppose, in the real world of transfers of players in and out. So manager holds. Yeah, but I don't think your manager, Mikel Arteta, can even hold a deck of cards because he had a deck of cards, of winning cards, with Aubameyang, um, Pepe, Guendouzi, Lacazette. Tierney was playing well, as I mentioned earlier on. He had a good team there that he inherited from Unai Emery, but he just if he had those cards after winning the FA Cup, and then he just dropped the cards, or I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he definitely dismantled that. So I don't think Mikel Arteta. I'm sure he's a good coach, good manager, but I don't rate him as an outsider looking into Arsenal. I He's still doing his apprenticeship in a polite way of saying it. I think that's what he's still doing it. I wouldn't have him at my Palace. My Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace has one silverware. He's literally doing a trajectory in his coaching and in his management. Oliver Glasner at my Crystal Palace is very similar to what Jurgen Klopp did in Germany when he went in from being a player into the coaching setup. It's been recognised what Oliver Glasner has done in European football and what he's now demonstrating at Crystal Palace, introducing a new way of style of play and transforming the possibilities and potentials of the football club at my Crystal Palace. Oliver Glasner, who's well respected in European football, he's kind of knighted him. And but the knight in ceremony that Pep Guardiola has had, he's had no success. He won the FA Cup with Arsenal, but with somebody else's players. And as I say, he spent over 750 net million spent net, and he gets thrown out of a domestic cup competition, and he's blaming the manufacturer of football. Oh, the football is different. It was, I don't know, bouncing differently. Come on, really? Do me a favour. But he did do a number just a few yesterday over Manchester City. So he might turn it around, but I just honestly I don't think he'll win the Champions League. And the narrative in that club in Arsenal, I think, is that because of the injuries, they'll give him another year. But who knows? We'll see what happens there. I suppose from that. But mad respect for Palace. Yeah, big up to you. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate you dropping in this late hours. And you're probably, well, your neck of the woods. You're probably even later on. Oh, you'd be an hour. No, you're still in GM time. You might be an hour behind. I don't know how it is over there. And but big up to you for dropping in at this madness hours. Am I happy with the Crystal Palace transfer window? Roman Eze, of course, came on as a substitute. People that criticise Ebery Eze at Crystal Palace this season, or other football fans out there, let me explain to you. Ebery Eze had the ball. Roman Eze just came on as a substitute. Roman Eze had the vision on the left-hand side to come in field and pop the ball across to Daniel Munoz on the right-hand side, and then Daniel Munoz did his magic Colombian stuff, and he passed the ball over, and Roman Eze got his debut goal for Crystal Palace. And okay, we didn't come away with a win or a draw against Brentford, but he made an impact. He made a presence. He made an impact in the senior squad. Coming from a very young age, he's done well. So I'm absolutely ecstatic for Roman Eze. And in respect to Ebery Eze, he's carrying a knock on one of his foot, and he'll be back to his full form soon. Yeah, I thought you'd be a. Oh, I see. Big up to you. Yeah, there's still you. Yeah, I knew you'd be an hour. Oh, so I wonder if that affects. Um, so no wonder you're up and running there. Big up to you here back at Holiday Monday, and oh right, so tomorrow you'll probably be back to normal. Yeah, you're midnight now. It's 1 o'clock here on the dot. Right now, it's just turned 1 o'clock. But yeah, so Crystal Palace, I'm happy with the transfer window. This time last season, we brought in Adam Walton and we brought Daniel Munoz. This time last year in the January transfer window, and of course we haven't signed Ben Chilwell, but we've got experience there in our defence because we've had the Moroccan international Chadid Riyad at Crystal Palace. He's got injured. The recurrence has happened again. I'm absolutely gutted because he's not an amazing prospect as a defender. If he's fully fit, he's absolutely crucial for any football sides that pick him. And he's a Moroccan international, and he's absolutely brilliant. But he's injured, and so they've had to bring cover for him. Of course, we had to give back Trevor Chabala back to Chelsea, and a little bit disappointed with that. But definitely, there's all these rumours about Mark Gahey going to um, Chelsea. Um, and with all due respect, Tottenham Hotspur fans, um, I mean, come on. If Mark Gahey didn't land at Chelsea, why even make an inquiry for him, even with big money, for Mark Gahey to go to Tottenham Hotspur? If you're going to leave my Crystal Palace and you're an established international football player, whether it's for England or any other side, go to a club that's going to win trophies. And Chelsea, I would say, will be one. I would say Liverpool, Manchester City, definitely. Another one that I will throw up there would be Newcastle with Eddie Howe, because I think Eddie Howe is a brilliant manager. I think he should be the England manager. Would I say Arsenal? If Mikel Arteta wasn't there, I would say absolutely. I'd be worried. If Mikel Arteta was not the manager of Arsenal right now, I'd be worried because um, players would go and play for that club. But I think the hindrance that they have at Arsenal is not so much the financial situation or the fair play, is the fact that they've got Mikel Arteta there and he's not won anything. He spent a hell of a lot of money there, but he's not won anything. Not because I'm saying so, and I'm not putting salt into any wound. It's a reality. So I don't see any of my best players at Crystal Palace going there. Definitely they'll be attracted because of the club, what the club stands for. I expect. I'm talking about Arsenal, but I don't think Mikel Arteta. Well, he's not won anything. Um, yeah, so that's the way I see it, really. Um, the other thing I'm going to mention today. Oh, 1 minute. Let me get back into it. Um, let me just quickly check back to see if there's been any other announcements by Crystal Palace. I'm kind of glad a little bit that the transfer window is over because as football fans, we always just non-stop refreshing to see what's going to happen and what not. And it's one of those. It's one of those, and I can rest now a little bit at peace. We haven't lost Ebrieze. We haven't lost JP John Philippe Mateta. We haven't lost Mark Gahey, and so it's one of those. Let me just clean the lens. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. There you go. I've cleaned it. I don't know if that helps. It's not very much of a clean with your finger, but there you go. That's what I've got. But hopefully I'll have the computer available soon, and then you can all hear me and see me a lot better. Let me just have another look at this. I can't see any other information from the transfer window and for Crystal Palace, because what happens is, if you weren't aware, if any football club signs a very important form between 9 and 11 p.m. on transfer window, they are able to get everyone, both clubs, the players and the agents, if they all sign that document, they're able to continue discussing that transfer the next working day. So there could be some further developments at football clubs in respect to the transfer window, but they have to officially have the signing of the player. Both parties, I expect, both football clubs. So there could be some further developments. Manchester City still made another signing, so that means they're close to spending No, they've actually spent more than 200 million. Manchester City in this transfer window. If you look at the sums of money spent, net spent by all football clubs in Serie A, in La Liga, in Spain, and the French league, if you combine those three leagues together, all those three leagues, net spent, they haven't spent more than Manchester City. Manchester City has just spent over 200 mil because they were on 154 a few days ago, and they've just signed a lad from Porto, I think, if I'm not correct. So they've gone over 200 mil. They've spent more than all the combined deals in La Liga, Serie A, and the French league. I mean, that is what we're up against, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Right, I'm quickly going to check if there's any other breaking news on the transfer, and shall I look at this one? Oh. Oh, here we go. Every transfer in January, that will be useful. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is better. I was waiting for this. I know I'm a bit late. Oh my God. Good morning or good evening to Alex SR7. I hope you're well. I know you're a Manchester United fan. So congrats on your win on Sunday. Thank you for that. For you as a Manchester United fan to drop in and to say that means a lot in a sense, because I'm sure that's very painful for you. So hello there. And yeah, I'm sure you're moaning. But I have to say, when I went to Old Trafford, before I went in, I think I mentioned it in the last watch along and at the beginning of this thing, there were some Manchester United fans that approached me, and I think they recognised the channel and myself, and they were very respectful, very we had a few jokes. So much respect to the Manchester United fans that approached me just as I was about to enter at Old Trafford. I did not expect that. Um, and it was very nice of them to come up and say hello, and we had a few words. They know who they are. I'm not going to mention any names, but it was comforting to see the Manchester United fans just coming towards me and just talking to me. It was nice of that. And of course, you didn't have a good day at the office there, but we certainly did. And you'll get it right. You've got a good manager there. You've got very good youngsters, but you went at the races against my Palace. And we already know Alex SR7 is adamant that he's not happy with his players' performances, and he's right to say that.